Welcome to the show tonight. We're here tonight to learn how to get some stuff done. You're welcome, buddy. I'm just going to, you're welcome. So we're going to go ahead and get rolling, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could send me a review on the webinar, on the strength and the power that you got from this, and also I would like another review on the demand to strike document that you guys are going to get, because you got to send me the review to get the document. We had to raise the stakes a little bit on that, except for maybe one person got it and sent me a great review, but I need to have it in the video so that I can post it on the website. So I'm hoping that you guys will all do that for me. Okay, guys, welcome to the webinar tonight. I'm going to just get rolling here, and what we're going to talk about tonight, well, you know, our webinar, how to stop criminal cases, or how to stop a criminal case, but I'm going to showcase the prosecutor eliminated package, and I'm going to open it up and show you the documents and everything. Now, some of you invested in the mortgage fraud package, but you know, we're going to talk about how to apply this shit here. So it really doesn't matter what package you invested in. You're going to learn more about how to deploy the documents that's in that package. Now, this criminal stuff is stuff that I started working on, obviously, to get my wife out. And now I have it. If they come and harass me, I already have it in an envelope. Ready to be mailed to me from my legal team. Yeah. If they want to do that. So I don't know. But I tell you right now, this package is badass. Veronica left me a review. I forgot to upload it today in the rush trying to get everything done. She used it, her and her friend used it, and they was in a rush to get him out. And we were kind of getting into it because she called me maxed out. We need to recuse the judge. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Okay, I thought I was a coach. I don't even know anything about recusing the judge. So as it turns out, her friend was using my foreclosure stuff and beating them in the face with it. So they jammed him up and arrested him on some other weak ass stuff that just like they, you know, And then when it got too hot in the kitchen, because she was reading to him over the phone when he called her from what we were doing. Certain words trigger them to listen. They're and that's what we do. We tell them everything, because you ain't trying to go in their court and have none of that shit, because you know you want them to know. And after a couple of days of doing this, she told me, you know, you guys, you know, tell your friend that's locked up in there to have their family go to winningcourtnow.com. So that's just a little story, kind of show you how this thing can work if you change your mindset. Now, before we get started looking at the legal documents in the package and stuff, I want to talk to you about we're going to talk a little bit about the differences between our non-conventional legal system and their legal system. And I think when you understand these differences, you'll see these documents and the crazy stuff that I'm telling you guys to do in a little bit different light. Okay, so the first main difference that I think we should talk about between two systems: in the conventional system, when the judge violates your due process, the only option they offer is to file an appeal. Yep, that's it. File an appeal, or you can file a complaint or complain to the bar or whatever. They don't give a shit. And file an appeal, and they'll help you with that. They'll give you the documents and send the stuff. Oh, you gotta do this way. Oh, they have no problem helping you with that shit. The reason they want you to do that is because you have no chance in hell at filing an appeal. Not because the system's dirty, they're all getting paid or whatever. No. I'd like to keep it right down to the facts. You have no chance in hell at filing an appeal because the judge does not provide a fact of findings and a conclusions of law connected to their little bullshit. So without that, there's no appeal. I mean, I don't, unless somebody knows something more than I do. And, I just like to keep shit simple. Without a fact of findings and a conclusions of law, there's nothing for you to appeal. Oh, you can do that shit, pay them, jump through all their hoops, and then when they're ready to kick your shit out of court, those assholes already know. And they're all lined up. They kick your shit out of court, and then they mail it to you. By the time it gets to you, they're already waiting down the street. And you don't have a whole lot of time to respond. So the players know this. They know that filing appeal is a very valuable waste of your damn time, and that's why they go out of their way to help you do that. So when the judge does not issue a fact of findings and a conclusions of law, then you're in an administrative hearing. You're in an administrative hearing. If the judge does not issue a fact of findings and a conclusions of law, you're in an administrative hearing. When you get to the judge part of this due process beatdown that we all go through, been through, or going through, when you get to the judge's part of this beatdown, you've already been violated numerous times by the state's day-to-day procedures and processes that lined your ass up for their administrative court process. So I hope this is becoming clear. If you look at it from this perspective, instead of that other bullshit over there running around, case law, people tell me sometimes to look at that, well, how can this lawsuit help me? It don't talk about my case. No, it don't. Because that's not going to help you. Talking about your case is not going to help you. That shit opens up the door for arguing. And then when the arguing's done, well, y'all ass know what happened then. Everybody just gets to step in and help them out. So his or her ass can continue getting paid and continue getting that pension and continue getting those offshore monies put in their account that they get from the CSTQ trust. Okay, that's a different, got a little carried away. The day-to-day procedures is what lines you up in their administrative court process. Now, people say, oh, but jurisdiction, yeah, we should do that shit. We did. And we're here now because in my mind, I couldn't understand why the hell they were taking jurisdiction when they obviously don't have it, didn't have it, never do have it most of the time. Their administrative procedures, their administrative court process is not connected to the Constitution. So they don't have to give you any rights. They don't have to do shit. And they pretty much don't. Unless, y'all know. When barmers have you in their administrative court, you have no rights. It's not a part of the Constitution. Nope, not a part of the Constitution. And we're going to just go a little further. Criminal statutes are not valid laws. They don't have enacting clauses, they don't have titles, and they don't have bodies. Criminal statutes are not valid laws. So, criminal case laws that's connected to the criminal statute. I know, do the math. That's what everybody wants to run around and put in their shit. Are you kidding me right now? That's what people have been trained to do. They indoctrinated us to believe all of that shit. Criminal statutes are not valid laws because they don't have enacting clauses, they don't have titles, and they don't have a body. All they are policies from a corporation like damn ass Walmart. I'm just saying, except they got police. The Walmart police can't do shit. Okay, sorry. I didn't know what the Walmart police do. I don't get in trouble at Walmart. Yeah, so that's the thing. Criminal statutes are not valid laws. Statutes and codes. Coach, I'm on state. Statutes. People call me and start asking me shit about state court. No, dude, you didn't watch something. Statutes and codes are not valid laws. So when are they? When there's an injured party or damaged property or both. That's the only time that the court should be in your face. Oh, here's something. The government cannot be an injured party. I know. If somebody can explain to me how the hell the government can be an injured party, I'll give you something free. I don't know. The government cannot be an injured party. So. But see, the jurisdiction issue, if you throw that on the table, who's going to decide on that? The same asshole. that you take it out, or assholes. And so that's why we do this whole thing a little bit different now. This is something that you need to understand if you're using my stuff. The Federal Rules Civil Procedure mandate that states that if you got defenses, you ain't required to answer to shit. Oh, but everybody running around. Okay, well, we don't have no defense here. We have offense. That's what we got. And I'm going to show it to you now. And I think when I show you the offense, you'll be looking at it in a little bit different picture. People get their heads stuck in their conventional shit and think that, you gotta, and then the judge is going to try to do the same shit they try to do to Tammy and answer for them and order your ass to a show cause hearing, okay? But here's the thing. Most of the time it's the magistrate judge. The magistrate judge don't have any judicial authority to be in your case or doing shit in your nothing without signed consent from everybody. So if the magistrate judge gets involved in your case and you what do I do? Ask for another? No, sue that asshole. Okay, that's what Tammy's doing. She's suing the magistrate judge for $100 million because the magistrate judge violated her due process by not following their administrative procedures that they're supposed to follow. They screw us over. Now, if they followed the procedures, they still would have screwed us over. But they sloppy. They sloppy because, So now Tammy's suing that judge for the $100 million because the judge didn't have the consent form. Oh, wait, and she's also suing the clerk because the clerk's job is to make sure that all that shit is lined up. And people don't realize that the clerk carries way more weight than the judge. And the clerk's number one job is to protect the court's money. And if you keep that in your head, then that might help you understand why the hell the clerk's always up in your face and and writing shit on your stuff and sending it back. So if you don't have to answer to their shit until you get done punching them in the face with the punching documents, it's time to have some fun. I just said it's time to have some fun. And that's kind of how I put this together. It's very important to understand that in my program, you don't need a reason. You don't need to rush around. There's no reason to rush around and try to kiss their ass or worry about. If you get the first document shoved in their face and watch the instructional videos and update it so you understand what you're doing, no, dude. No, the beat down that you give them on the state level, this is how this, okay. No, you should not have to answer to anything. And especially if the judge tries to help them, just turn on the judge. It's easy. It's easy. Yeah, so when you're giving them their beat down in state court, they're not going to respond. They're not going to be able to respond. Okay. First off, everything that we file in state court has federal case law because state court shit is bullshit. And they whine about it, but they can't do a damn thing about it because there's no difference between filing federal case law than there is filing Supreme Court case law in any other lower courts. But see, here's the problem that they have. They can't respond to your shit with state. Well, they can't respond anyway. So when you get done beating them down and using the demand to strike document or demand for sanctions, those two punching documents, when you get done doing that, you're over here getting your stuff filed in federal court. They're not going to be able to respond. So you can order the federal court judge to force them to come to the settlement table. And I see someone with a hand out, but we'll do the questions after I get done or we're never going to finish. So, because if they couldn't respond to the state court beatdown that you gave them, they got no standing to be saying shit in federal court. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The judge ain't going to do that. It don't matter. Because if the judge don't, then you can sue the judge. Oh, so, you're learning this right now, right? It only takes one judge to get in your face, and then you got what you need. And now your lawsuit is about some different shit and not all this stupid crap that, Oh, and now you completely changed the posture of the situation. And that starts with the mindset, a change in the mindset. People come, they're freaked, but you're not going to be doing the same shit you were doing before. So you can't expect the same situation when you're attacking them for the day-to-day procedures and processes that were not fair. Arguing is cut out. There's no arguing. No, as a matter of fact, they don't even want you in court. And part of the review that Veronica left outlined that they don't want them in court anymore. They told them they know too much. So we're going to do a screen share so we can get over to the document. I think that's what we need to share. So this is the package right here. I cleaned it up a little bit. I took a few things out of it that were confusing and some things we didn't need in there. So one of the things that I took out was there was one document in there, the ring strategy, and it was quite a while ago. The ring strategies changed quite a bit based off the real-time feedback, and those changes are reflected in the updated instructional videos. So it's real important when you go to watch. The instructional videos are only in the instructional video playlist, and the updated instructional videos are also only in the instructional video playlist. Now, there are updated videos on the training side of things, and I think people get those confused. And I can tell when I say, hey, did you watch, and they tell me, oh, I've been watching videos for like 25 years, like, no. No, I'm talking about the instructional videos that are only in the updated and the instructional video playlist. Now, it's important to watch the original instructional video and the updated instructional video so you have an idea of what the hell we were doing. Okay, so let's just get started with the most important thing, and we're not going to go in the order of filing because, like I said, let's just go ahead and do that. The most important, one of the important documents that you would want to start out with is you might want to mute your thing, Tammy, because I can hear you. So this is no, that's the demand for default. That's not what we want to start with. There you go. Now, I like to start with this. Now, probably the second document that you guys would be filing is going to be the demand to strike everything or whatever. Okay, but you need to get that sanction in there first, the demand for sanctions. And the reason is this demand for sanctions is like a mini lawsuit that you file in their stuff without having to pay filing fees. And so this one for the prosecutor package, I beefed it up. And so we're just going to look at it right here. So basically, this is the way to get your lawsuit sort of stuck in their face without having to come out with money. Because y'all know what they do. First thing they do, especially if you're messing with the feds, is they attack your name, your business, and then put all your shit in the street and say you're doing all this stuff, making millions and millions of dollars, and then they freeze your bank accounts and So this allows you to file this in their case without having to pay filing fees. Now, I took the counterclaim out, and we'll talk about that when I get to the actual lawsuit document. The lawsuit document is the counterclaim, but I took it out because people would not do their homework and try to file that. The counterclaim is something that I would file if you have plenty of time. If you're in the beginning of this process and you got plenty of time to beat their ass, then I would do the demand for sanctions and whatever, and then I'd come in and file the, but not in a hurry. You want to just take your time, because what I found is they have their administrative process. I don't know how long it is, but at some point in time, they have to get that shit over there. So this is the demand for sanctions, and you're demanding sanctions. When I first put this together, we're going in the Rule 11 right here because they're supposed to do reasonable pre-filing investigation, whatever. And then, I have ADD, so I got to beefing it up. And then we put in this: criminal court has no jurisdiction, and the state cannot be an injured party. Acts committed. That's getting a little hot, and we still in the beginning. So you can see all of that, and then we have the case law here. Now, like I said, case law is shit, but when you're using it to kick their ass, then it's good. Actually, it's for them, in my opinion. Their bullshit is not for us. It's for them, and they don't follow it. So, and you can see right here, we pretty much crush. This is how we crush their criminal jurisdiction. We crush their. Oh, I love this, and it's undefeated. We crush their criminal jurisdiction with yep. Oh, wait, and the prosecutor can't testify. Wait, now this is format is jacked up a little bit because I've been messing around with it. Oh, wait, prosecutor doesn't have a license to practice law. Oh, they get really mad when you bring this shit up. The court has no jurisdiction to get involved in a case with no injured party, and criminal statutes are not valid laws because they don't have enacting clauses. This is really, really badass right here. I had one dude call me from California, and he said, "Coach, that enacting clause shit just blew their ass out of the water." And the action was filed with defective affidavit. No witness was ever entered into the court record. Oh, well, no witness that was paid, that wasn't paid. The prosecutor signed the affidavit. Oh, dude, this is hot right here. This is hot right here. So I haven't had anybody get past this. I don't know. Am I bragging? Okay. Sorry. Let's stay focused. The judge has conflict of interest. Oh, he's a bar member. Is the judge a bar member? Oh, wait. Attorneys cannot testify. So statements and brief of counsel are never facts before the court. Without jurisdiction, complete jurisdiction, no court can issue judgment that isn't void. Wait, lawyers and attorneys are not licensed to practice law according to the United States Supreme Court. The practice law cannot be licensed. And now we get to the other normal stuff that was in there before we put some fire in it. And so they can't get past any of this, and they sure the hell don't want to talk about what we talked about in the front part of this document. So this document should end that shit, and or at least make them have to go sit down while you're getting your stuff filed in federal court. And then when you get your stuff filed in federal court, you can jam their ass up for not being able to answer to this. Any questions on that? Now, the next document that we're going to look at is the temporary restraining order. Now, the temporary restraining order has also been beefed up, and it's structured to block federal funding to the entire state pursuant to the spending clause in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8 of the clause of the United States Constitution. And it mandates that the federal government has judicial authority to block the funding going to the state if the state violates your due process, I think, or the Fifth Amendment. And you can see right here, their administrative court process is violating your due process right out of the gate. So I'll make that a little bit bigger. State's policies and procedures. Oh, we talk about the Administrative Procedures Act, and this is so one of the things that I wanted to, and I forgot to write that down. So I'm glad I saw this. One of the things that I wanted to tell you guys is my documents are structured to bring criminal charges against them, and the way you do that, like the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946, that's a federal law. It's a federal law that was enacted in 1946 that forced corporations to have their policies and procedures in harmony with the Constitution. The state court's administrative process and violating due process rights. Now, how this works, another one is the Tucker's Act. We come in under the Tucker's Act. Now, how that works in bringing criminal charges. We talked about at the beginning of the webinar that criminal charges are shit. They're ridiculous. There's no such thing as criminal charges. Everything is civil. So when you look at it from that perspective, everything being civil, now, so if you violate a federal law, they come after you, but they're set up to be jammed up by the axe. We don't know that because we're stupid. Okay, we're figuring it out. So when you sue them and have a federal act as your cause of action at the title on top of your shit there, then you're bringing criminal shit in their face. I don't know. That's the way I see it. Attorneys have they have a hard time with that. And, right now, it's not just the state court, it's any court. If there's no injured party to damage property, any court has, any judge, any federal, people get their heads stuck into words. And believe me, the words are damn important, but the ones that you're getting your head stuck on are not so much. I'm just saying. State court judge has a conflict of interest. Oh, right, and there's the spending clause, Article 1, Section 8 clause of the Constitution provides federal government has legal authority to offer federal grant states to withhold. It's pretty much all right there. Yeah, and so one day I was doing some research, and I decided I wanted to shut the court. Shut the money down going to the court. Just being silly. Oh, dang, look at this. I figured out a way to do it. Now, those of you facing property issues, the real estate deed fraud is the beginning of that. Now, if you're using this for criminal stuff and you don't have real estate deed fraud, then you just take that out. That's the way you do that. If you're using the foreclosure document and you're not in judicial foreclosure, then you take out the judicial foreclosure stuff. How do you know the difference? Your ass better know the difference. And that's why I left that shit in there. Because if you don't, then they're going to kick your ass in the end. Because if you don't know the difference, you're not going to know the words that you need to use when they call your ass on the phone or when they do the little funky ass hearing on the internet or whatever. So you can see this temporary restraining order kind of outlines everything in the lawsuit and the other documents. And this is the way to make your shit badass. You can make one demand for sanctions and only talk about one thing. I got them all in there because some of y'all are freaking out. Y'all need to put these people on the ground. Oh yeah, but and drag it out. That's how you do this. You ain't trying to hurry up with nothing. Oh hell no. What, you want to hurry up? You think they're gonna be fair? By the time you come with my stuff, they're really bad. I didn't know why. So now your temporary restraining order is jamming them up because the court don't have jurisdiction. Because you can't. The state cannot be. Oh, all of that is in that little tiny temporary restraining order. Oh, I love my job. So, and you can make this ask for whatever you need to kick their ass. That's how you do that. You make that, you ask for whatever you need to kick their ass. Now, I've seen a few people's documents because I'm having, my OneDrive was connecting and syncing and doing all this crazy crap. And the worst thing that you can do is add the damn lender to your shit if you're in foreclosure. Yeah, that's what Frank Vitale did. He added the lender to his shit, and he made some other mistakes, and now they're moving to throw his shit out. And he hasn't figured out that he needs help yet because he's too busy being a smarty Britton. Okay, the firepower. Oh, let me move it over here. This is the firepower here. Oh, this is. I need to turn the fan up. Oh, so yeah, you can see here. John Doe. You got the judge. You need to add the state on there, and you watch the instructional video. You'll know what you need to do with that. Now you're coming in here under the Little Tuckers Act, and the Little Tuckers Act is really badass because the Little Tuckers Act strips the players of their alleged immunity that they think they like to lie and say they have. strips them of their immunity if they're violating your due process or your Fifth Amendment. They're stripped of their immunity, and it's a federal law to violate those things that strips them of their immunity. And the Little Tuckers Act forces them to put your case in International Court of Trade, International Court of Claims. They change the name around or whatever. In my opinion, that's the only court that is a judicial court. That's the only one. And the only reason why that court is still here is because, I don't know, back in 1933, whenever the hell they took gold and silver off the market and changed our court and changed all this shit around, no other country wanted to do business with us because they knew the administrative court was going to screw everybody over. But they don't want to tell you about this court because they sure don't want y'all ass in there bothering them. Yeah, but I done some research on this a few years back, and my conclusion is that that court is in every courthouse. You just have to jam their ass up and put stuff in there to make and tell them that's kind of what. They don't want people to know that, and that's what this is to beat down the facts. They don't want people to know what you get when you invest in this program. So you can just see here, we start out just a little, so here we come in under the Tuckers Act, administrative law, equity, and under the Uniform Commercial Code. Because I don't know what kind of shit they under, so we just come in on everything. Oh. And then here you always want to have your little thingy there, and then your statement of jurisdiction. Without that, they're going to say you don't state everything. That if you miss one thing, they're going to say you ain't stated a claim. You got to figure out what it is. But if you get my shit, then it's already structured as state a claim. And anything that's not set up state a claim, it says that all of the parties conspire together, so they're all liable for all of the counts collectively. And then I don't have to worry about stating the claim and numbering each count with each. No, they all conspired, so they're all guilty. There you go. That's a wrap. But this here is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Here you go. Gives jurisdiction, the United States Court of Federal Claims. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's hot. Mm-hmm. And then you want to provide legal notice, which is not something that they require. I just do this in here because I like to kick their ass with this shit here, Jen, and tell them they don't have no damn license to be doing none of this shit. And then you got to let them know that you are a citizen of the Republic State of Kansas. Now, and we'll talk about the citizenship thing a little bit later on the other document. The way that works is it don't matter if you are from another country. If you're from Mars, the moon, that shit don't matter. As long as you can verify that's where you're from. What you're doing is you're making sure that you're not a U.S. citizen. A U.S. citizen is a government and federal employee, a federal government employee. And actually, in my head, there can't be any U.S. citizen, okay? Because there can't be any government. Nobody can be born in a fake corporation. So there you go. I said it. Shoot me down with a lightning bolt. And then you have to have your short and plain statement of the claim. And this in red I have because this is very important. If you don't have this in here, then your stuff's going to get thrown out. So I guess maybe it shouldn't be red because you don't have to change it. But if you watch the instructional video, you'll understand why it's there. And then, so when you're going after them for process and procedure violation, and this is why your shit, this is why the document don't look like it talks about your shit, okay? When you go after them for the process and procedure violations, then what you're doing is you have to connect the employees to shitty training. Training employees who are in the executive branch. And now this is for the police officer giving you a ticket. They train employees in the executive branch to sign a summons as a judicial officer of the court in violation of the separation clause. And, if you got a judge in your face, then they train the judge to move your ass into an administrative hearing, into administrative court, to separate you from the Constitution and violate your rights. So now you see how that you can spin that off. And I know y'all thinking, oh hell, we're gonna need 20 pages. As long as you're talking about that it don't matter. But you don't need 20, just a couple. And then you just kind of, short and plain sum it up. The plaintiff was damaged while the defendants were enforcing state and city statutes while acting under the color of the law, and unconstitutional policies and procedures and ordinances and statutes and laws and what the hell ever were the source of the action. So that short and plain statement kind of wraps up everything, and then the rest of your stuff reflects that. And then you also want to have in there that you were damaged and you want the court to grant you some shit, okay? You were damaged by the unlawful traditional day-to-day municipal court process, and the lack of constitutional training is the issue at hand. So now when you understand how we're bringing this and what the thing is, that should make it a whole lot easier to put the right shit in there and not make it about the lender or whatever, and keep it on. Because you can read this. If you read this a bunch of times, then you understand. You'll understand exactly what you need to talk about. When you go talk to that person that's in charge of the court's money, that really nice clerk that some of y'all ass be like throwing up way more information on and wonder why they aren't throwing your shit out so easy. I'm just saying. So right here, you're kind of discussing defendant's liability. Now, if you notice, you don't see a bunch of names of the defendants in here in the body, because you don't need, there are defendants. Now, if your case, your situation is, if the defendants in your situation have different liability, for instance, if they're not connected, working on the same thing or whatever, then you'll want to connect everything to everybody, so and that's how you state a claim. Stating a claim means that you have to connect all of the counts to the people, because some people may not be responsible for some counts, and so in my case it's conspiracy and they all are. So I just make it easy. I ain't trying to play all that stupid shit. So that's kind of how I do it. But if your situation is different to where you have to divide those counts up, then that's how you do it. And I have several videos, 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 on my YouTube channel about how to state a claim. It's pretty easy, and you can just look it up and learn how to do it. And so now we want to address the fact that, we already said up here that they, were operating under the color of the law with shitty training, whatever. Then down here, the policies and the agency's customs, So if you're talking foreclosure, the foreclosure statute is not a valid law. So there you go. No, I'm in judicial foreclosure. Still, what they're doing is it's even worse. HOA foreclosure. That's the easiest shit to beat. The HOA foreclosure. I have videos on that. That's the easiest shit to beat in this thing. Tax lien foreclosure. You know what? It stinking don't matter what kind of foreclosure you're in. The lawsuit for property tax, the lawsuit for whatever. It doesn't matter. They're attacking your property. Doesn't matter which one you use. Now, economically, property tax package has 2 lawsuits in it. It has the 42 USC lawsuit in it you're looking at right here, and it has a lawsuit in it for illegal tax collection. And I put the 2 in there because I got tired trying to explain to people. It doesn't matter, which one you get. And some people would stay on the fence until they're coming to their house to throw them out because they're not sure. They just don't want to. Right now. So I just put them both in there. Now, at the end of this month, the property tax package is going to go up to the price of these premium packages, and it's going to include everything that a coach would need to handle the property tax issue or any issues with the property, whether it's foreclosure, property tax, whatever. Everything will be in that package that you need to handle that situation. And my goal here is to have my business to where I'm helping coaches get things done, as opposed to people who are struggling or whatever, because it allows me to teach them to help more people, and it makes it. Now we have this in our pleading standard. I put that in there because a lot of times they try to throw you shit out on stupid stuff, and so I just put that in there, jam their ass up. And you want to make sure that you mention the fact that the players are acting under the color of the law, and that was the cause of your constitutional injuries while they were acting under the color of the law. And then there's a whole bunch of. Now, these things in red, you need to turn them into black. I highlighted them in red because it's very, very important. If you talk to those assholes on the phone, this is what I would tell them. My attorney said that we established a cause link between the agency policies and practices and the alleged constitutional violations. See, Kansas City or whatever, let's read that shit off the phone in the voicemail that you leave when you call down there to harass their asses. Or when your people call from jail. Oh yeah, dude, you blame everything on the legal team. You blame everything on the legal team, and you do that because if you're blaming everything on the legal team, then, and they don't know who the hell the legal team is, then they're not going to have a whole lot of value in locking your ass up and thinking that they can stop this ass whooping because they got you locked up. So. And at the end of the day, they're going to know who beat their ass, okay? But it's a lot, in some places it's a lot easier to be safe than it is to be cocky, because you're going to beat their ass down. You can be cocky anytime with my shit. So that's how we do that. And then again, you see, we address the court has no criminal jurisdiction. Damn, this is the same stuff that was in the demand for sanctions. What the hell are you doing, coach? You just got everything and everything? You punch him over there, yeah, why not? Raise the heat up on the ass. Oh, yeah, the scheme to defraud. Oh, the separation of powers and political talk. Oh, this is hot right here. Okay, well, so now we're kind of done with the hottest stuff. I'm ready to go. Okay, so, the parties. You got to have the parties. And then I always put the negligence thing here. Some people whine if you don't put that in there. These are the claims. And if you are doing, if you're going to do like a conventional stated claim, then you would make sure that each person was, one, defendant 1 is responsible for claims 1 and 2. Defendant 3 is responsible for claims 4 to 7. Basically, that's all it is. But, you got the conspiracy here. So now you talk about your damages. And sometimes people like to put a little more in this than what I have, which is fine, especially if you were arrested and you suffered or got attacked while you was in jail. That had to happen. We'll talk about that sometime. By 2 guys. But I was the one that walked out of the room. Oh, yeah, 2 skinny gangbangers. I didn't know. I guess I looked old, but I didn't know. Old people can still kick your ass. That's what they found out. Okay, so the damages you can see right here, and this, you can work that up, and then to mental. Some people like to go into what their mental was or whatever, but I don't really think it ain't none of their business. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have the federal judge order the ass to the table anyway. So, compensatory damages, obviously, for, stuff that you lost to be put back whole. Punitive damages are the damages that you are demanding to make their asses not want to do that again to the next person. And this is what Frank Vitale is dealing with. He's dealing with my punitive damages because he lied and told PayPal. You guys who've been watching that, y'all know what's going on with Frank. He's having trouble with the punitive damage part. He thinks that just because he paid me again, that I should just take his name off the internet. No, Frankie, baby, it don't work like that. You lied, and so you don't have honor when you lie. You can't be back in honor after you lied. That's what my grandma told me. So I know she's right on a lot of shit. So you can hear, then you have here your wherefore, and this is what you expect the court to do. So I have a new Grammarly software, the premium stuff I downloaded today, and it's just been highlighting some of these grammar errors. But some of the stuff is written stupid because that's the way they had it, so I copied it. But yeah, you can see that in, so yeah, for my sister, we added the court's corporate charter to her demand for damages, and we wanted her to get a seat on the board of directors. If she gets the controlling interest in the corporate charter, then you get a seat on the board of directors. And our goal was to help them come up with, help the attorneys or the court come up with more policies that were more friendly to the Constitution. So that was pretty much it. Now, the affidavit I always have at the end of most of my stuff, and I have that affidavit to verify that you are a real person, a warm-blooded human being. Now, this is a demand for discovery. And in here, you would ask for all of the shit that you know they don't want to talk about. And a lot of the shit that you should be asking for in here is the stuff that's in the lawsuit package, verification, that well, yeah. Or you can just, this one was structured for, actually I put this one together when I sued the city of Lawrence in 2017 for 3 $10 seatbelt tickets they kept giving me because I passed by them with my finger up. Maybe. I could have done that. I think maybe I did that a couple of times after I got out. Yeah, I was not very happy. Get out and find your honey gone. No, these people take a black man, a white woman, thinking it ain't going to be a problem. No. Yeah, okay, so that's like the main document. This one here, the notice of recusal. Now, some people say notice, demand, whatever. I use notice. It really don't matter, because in this program, the biggest thing that you're going to do that's going to make the difference in them respecting your ass is adding the right parties to the shit. When you add the state and the judge and the prosecutor to their own shit with a demand for sanctions or a demand to strike their shit or a counterclaim or whatever, it's a problem. It's a problem because they can't litigate a case they're a party to. They can't represent themselves. They can't represent other people in the same law firm because they're considered a corporation. And a corporation can't go into court and talk for itself. And that's why I never would even consider being an LLC, or people say, oh, you should do this to protect your stuff or whatever. Someone can sue me if they want to. I'm going to make their life a miserable hell. Okay, I'm just saying. But the problem is when you do that shit, and then you have to go to court because the attorneys are attacking you or screwing with you. Now you got to have an attorney talk for you. I'm out. Oh, yeah. And so you already know how that's going to go. So here you're demanding to recuse the judge. Now, just like you saw what I did with that demand for sanctions, beefed it up with a whole bunch of shit out of the other documents, you can do the same thing with this. You can do the same thing with this. Put that shit in here that's in the lawsuit documents. You notice and recuse the judge because of all the shit in your lawsuit documents. Put it all right in there. Stack that shit on the table and make them have to say, So the other reason why they're obstructing the administration of justice. So whenever you're talking about your due process being violated, you want to refer to the obstruction of the administration of justice. That's how you do that to get their attention, to let them know that you got a legal team. a badass legal team. So you can see that this demand to recuse is not what you generally see. Generally, when you have it like this, it's 2-3 pages. And then we got the affidavit. We got the affidavit. Because if the judge is going to answer to this, the judge has to answer with a counter affidavit. That's why you had the affidavit. If they don't answer with a counter affidavit, then they're in default. And so my wife said, yeah, they're in default. You know what? I didn't really give a shit about default, because as soon as they rule against me, I'm suing somebody's ass, because I'm already in administrative court. I already know I'm in administrative court. I'm not doing that. As soon as they say, no, Mr. Neighbor, get the hell out of here. Yeah, somebody's ass is about to get sued, because that's how you do it. I don't know. I tried the appeal thing, long time ago. Yeah, well, I started it. Well, no, I did. I did do an appeal once when they tried to force medicate me. And that was the only time that I seen one work. But that wasn't the same thing as what you guys are going through, because that wasn't quite the same thing as when they come with statutes and shit that's not valid laws. Okay, so the next one that we're going to look at is, now the affidavit of state citizenship document that comes in the package comes along with this. This is a diplomatic immunity PDF. This teaches you how to understand and fill out the form that you get from the post office to get your passport. Now, the way this works is you have to make sure you're not admitting that you are a U.S. citizen, that your parents are a U.S. citizen, that nobody in your family is a U.S. citizen, that you don't work in the U.S., and you don't have any products from the U.S. or whatever, because the U.S. is Washington, D.C. And that's the U.S. they're talking about. And this goes over all of the things and the benefits. When you do this and you get your passport with 5 stars, then you can carry a firearm concealed in any state. You are a citizen of the public state you're born in, and you're not subject to the statutes and codes and bullshit without injured party or damaged property. Now, when you get pulled over and you hand them that passport card, and so this is the application right here, and they walk you through it and explain every stinking thing that you have to do. This is so badass to fill that out. And the value that this brings to the table is, and the reason why we put this together is some people in the South, in Georgia and North Carolina, were getting harassed after they left the courthouse by the cops going after these people for kicking some ass in court. So when they run that passport card, you don't come back in their system. You don't come back in their system. They'll come over to you and tell you, so where do you live? Do you have a driver's license? Do you have any other identification? And you tell them, hell no. So I tell them, my wife's like, you're kind of rude. No, I already told him he wasn't getting shit, and that's it. He can come back over here 3 times, keep asking me for some shit. No. And then I let her know if they arrest me, she can drive. I'll leave her the keys. So this is the affidavit of state citizenship, and I put this together to kind of go with getting okay, so this is what I would use and have notarized and put in your case to verify that you are not a U.S. citizen until your stuff comes, and that's how we do that. And they really ignore this in your case or whatever. But I still would have it in there, because in the end, they don't have any jurisdiction over you if you have this. But the real purpose for this, so don't get it twisted and be sitting over there while they're throwing your shit out in the yard. The real purpose for this is to protect you on the back side after you get done whooping their ass. Okay, that was the purpose for this. And I have one. My wife has one. And if it was me, if I had young kids that were in driving age or whatever, they would have one too. Actually, all of my kids would have one, because that's how you want to remove them from their shit without without being a sovereign citizen, doing all that shit and all that complicated shit that they don't recognize. They don't recognize that shit. But they recognize that state ID. And when they run it, you come back, you're not in their system. And that's why we use it. Oh, I think we got one left. Oh, this is a fun one. This is an old one. I have to go through this one and add a few things to it, change a few things. Okay, I'm gonna show you this one. This one, I gotta make a few changes on this one. I haven't looked at this one in quite a while. So this is the legal malpractice lawsuit. It's actually a legal malpractice / breach of contract. And so to do legal malpractice, or even to claim fraud, you have to connect a whole bunch of shit to a whole bunch of shit and jump through these hoops. And they made it hard like that because that's what they're doing. They're doing the fraud and whatever. So if you're going to bring up that shit they're doing, they're going to make it hard for you, okay? So it's difficult to bring a lawsuit for legal malpractice unless like a whole community of people die. I'm just saying. So what we did here is we brought it, but we brought it under breach of contract. So now we're suing them for legal malpractice and breach of contract because they breached the contract. I think everybody can. There's no questions that they threw your ass under the bus. And the thing about this that makes this sweet is that the breach of contract, you can go after them for punitive damages, which means now you can go after them for a buttload of money. And these are all numbered over here like this so that you can state a claim if you want to. I do have some things that I put the way they want it. Especially this, because I don't want them to have any excuse to get out from underneath this puppy. And you can see here, I just go over all of the stuff that was wrong. Well, some. I didn't go over all. It would be way more pages. And then you have your jurisdiction, your negligence, proven causation, and then your damages. Yeah, I spent a little time on this. And I actually have this on the website. I don't know if it's open. I need to put it. I have it pretty cheap on the website if people want to invest in it. Now, what I suggest if you're going to go after your attorney, what I suggest is make it easy. Beat his or her ass down first. Add that sucker or suckerette to the, as a defendant to the lawsuit that you're filing for whatever policies and codes they violated against you. I see what I did with that. Yeah, add them as a defendant. Beat their ass down with that. And then when they make, when they make a deal, whatever, then you can go after the attorney after the attorney's ass already been, y'all see what I did with that? Yeah, make it easy. Make it easy for yourself. Beat his ass down or her ass down by adding the attorney as a defendant to the shit before you do this. Oh, no defective affidavit, no competent fact witness. I've heard these things before. Insufficient pleadings, lack of jurisdiction. Attorney can't testify. Oh, proximity causation. Okay, so let's just go ahead and stop the screen share. So you guys can see the way this works is you just beat their ass down. You can't go in there to their court expecting to be fair or have them give you anything or do anything for you. So we go in and we punch them with the punching documents to stop the court process. And that's what we do. We stop the court process, and then you need to get your happy ass over to federal court or vice versa. If you start out in federal court, then you want to stop that process and then get on over there to state court and drag their happy asses over there in state court with your lawsuit. That's how you do it. As soon as the judge says no, you say yes. And that's, I don't know, that just makes things a lot simpler when you do it that way and you don't have to put up with their crap. So, who got questions? Anybody got questions? How we doing? I know y'all ain't sleep, right? So that's a rundown on the prosecutor eliminated package, and it's also a rundown on how to use my stuff. And I hope that gives you guys a better idea of what you should be doing and how much fun you should be having. Because if you're not having fun, you ain't doing it right. You should be having some fun over here. So, Tammy, how are things going with your case? I wonder if Tammy's still here. Oh, yep. How are things going with your case, Tammy? Maybe she's. There you go. I can hear you now.
Tonight has been such an eye-opener. So tomorrow, I'm kind of focused on which direction to go in. And I'm just grateful for the knowledge. Things are going good.
Okay. I think you need to get that temporary restraining order in their face.
Okay.
Just to keep them busy.
I will. I sure will.
So, and you know, I told you they called here from Tennessee, wanted to talk to me, wanted to get me to help them. They wanted another set of eyes on a very complicated case that has 65 defendants. And then the next day, they called my wife on her phone by accident, and it was the same lady. Yeah. So I didn't know. I told them that's not what I do. I actually talked to them people on the phone for the longest time, almost 30 minutes. I never had them call me to talk shit in my face, and then I get to I was telling them, you had no jurisdiction, and then the deed, you know, I was just throwing it all out there, and I could tell she was talking to somebody else, you know, because some time in, and so finally I was like, look, guys, I know y'all, whatever. Listen, I need to go, okay, because I asked them what the hell they wanted, and finally when I told them that I was going to leave and get back to work, somebody blurted out in the background, so, Coach, what paralegal school did you graduate from? So I told him, I didn't really want to talk about that right now because, I was trying to keep that under wraps because I didn't want people to think that I had anything to do. I just kind of, bullshit, I hung up. Then I got on the internet and I pulled up Butler, North Carolina, federal medical facility where I spent quite a bit of time at. And I copied the picture, and then it said Butler, North Carolina in the bottom corner, and right above that I put paralegal school of Butler, North Carolina. I posted a video. Letting people know that was a school that, Then I had one asshole on Facebook said, Coach, isn't that fraud? And I said, I wonder if it'd be fraud if you lied and told people you had a license and you don't have a damn license.
Right. What they're doing.
Wait. How could it be fraud? It could only be fraud if you're stupid and you believe that I needed to have some kind of credentials to be a paralegal. Are you kidding me right now? I don't even need to have credentials to be a damn attorney because you ain't got shit. Well, yeah, they didn't want to talk to me no more. So. Well, I'm glad things are going well. And I don't know, Judge Annie T. Christoph, I know she's having a little trouble explaining the situation when your video that I made on YouTube showed up right underneath her picture on the website for the federal government for the state of Tennessee.
Right. No, she didn't like that.
No, they didn't like that at all. But you know what? The ass whooping can stop. All they got to do is just hook you up.
That's right.
So, Judge Annie T. Christoph, if you're watching.
Right.
All right, Tammy. Good night, honey.
Thank you, Coach.
Anybody else got anything they want to add before we check out? I got to go watch a movie with my girlfriend. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time, and I really appreciate you all coming. I hope you learned something, and I hope to get some video reviews tomorrow. And when you send those in, I'll send you over my new demand to strike Mr. Kopecky's shit, and it's the one that Tammy's using right now. Oh, they're having a real hard time over there in Tennessee. All right, guys. See you guys in the next webinar. We're actually going to do the same one again because there's even more stuff I want to talk about. So we're probably just going to stick with this one. And that way my website design girl, Humera, she doesn't have to run around changing a whole bunch of things. And I want to thank her for the commitment that she's made to making sure that everything goes well and that my website looks so freaking badass. Thank you, Humera. I appreciate everything you've done, and I'm sure everybody else does too. Good night, everyone.